Good morning. Welcome to Wake Up Real Estate. Tuesday, January 23rd. Texting Tuesday. Got a good one for you, especially for those of you that want to uncover some listing opportunities. Hopefully, maybe, still this winter, but if not, set your pipeline up for the spring and summer with listing opportunities. And got some other good stuff for you today. Ryan, I think, has a social post of the day.
Yeah,
Which we'll dig into here in a minute. But just first, some quick housekeeping items. First and foremost, please like, comment, subscribe, share, etc. If you listen on your favorite podcast platform, please rate and review. It helps others find the show. And later today, this afternoon, I am doing with Jordan a deep dive session on fixer-upper financing options. For folks that will, owner-occupant options, people that want to live in the home, and also investment property options. So hard money, fix and flip, things of that nature. We're going to cover at least 5 or 6 different options and opportunities there. For you, if I were you, the more you are aware of these, the more ways you can kind of proactively put together opportunities when you're having conversations with people or you're looking in your MLS at properties and so forth. Being able to present a property to a client that it fits what they're looking for, but it just maybe needs some TLC. If you can proactively reach out to them, hey, I know this one maybe isn't in the the best of shape right now, but it seems to be in the right neighborhood. It's got the right lot size, right? It's in the right school district or elementary school. And if we could figure out how to get you that new kitchen and maybe some updated bathrooms, I think it could be a great fit. So anyway, you can be more of a proactive problem solver with these kind of programs.
Other thing you could do.
Ahead,
sorry. I was going to say the other thing you could do in a 203K is add another bedroom. So even if the property's not in terrible shape, you see a 2-bedroom that could be a 3. You could work that in there too.
Yep. So Jordan and I will be live later today at 1 Eastern. growwithjosh.com/fixer-upper-class. It is scrolling across the bottom. growwithjosh.com/fixer-upper-class. Now, if you can't make it live, we've set it up so that it will immediately be available on demand at that same link. Okay. So whether you join us live or you're watching this a year from now, you should be able to go and check that out at any point and dig into those fixer-upper financing options. Ryan, what do you got?
Oh yeah, I forgot to share my screen. Let's bring that up here. There's the fixer-upper class.
Yeah, there you go.
There's the registration. I just did a really quick one today. Just grabbed off of cnbc.com/real estate. So when you're in a pinch, you need something to post, just go to one of the big news channels. I like the real estate section of CNBC, and they had this cool article about how to get your rent reporting, onto the credit bureaus. Apparently,
okay.
Zillow has something for this now.
Really?
But your landlord needs to be using some of their system. You can read the article there.
Okay.
And the other thing I probably could have done here was done a call to action. If you're renting and want your payments to potentially have your credit score, there's some interesting points here. You can also tie in, if you're tired of paying your landlord's mortgage and you want to become an owner and stop renting, reach out, something like that.
Yeah, love it. I did a short video this weekend on Experian Boost, which is a free instant way for folks to boost their credit. It was just it wasn't even a green screen, meaning I just had their site up on mobile, and I just screen recorded on my mobile device me talking about it. So my voice is there, but that's it. And I shared that, or I created that, and I shared it all on TikTok and Facebook Reels and Instagram Reels and LinkedIn and Twitter and YouTube. And now this morning I emailed that out to my entire database as well, because it's a simple free way. And I weaved in at the very end and one of the reasons why I brought this up is our automated HELOC program or product with NEXA. It's a soft credit pull, and it's the Experian number that they're basing it on. So they do an Experian soft credit pull, and that's what they base it on. And so that's that's smart for folks to go and get see if they can get a little boost ahead of time, because it might get them a better rate or a better offer. And the other reason why it's valid is the lender that we often pivot to for folks that, for whatever reason, the automated HELOC option they get declined for, we often pivot to a lender called Spring EQ, and they do the same thing. They do a soft credit pull, and they're looking at the Experian number. So
Yeah.
it's helpful for folks. And the tie-in to what Ryan was saying is they mention on there that you can get credit for rent, but I don't know how it must be something along those lines with the Zillow thing. But what they can also, the benefit of it is they can also get credit for like utility bills and things of that nature. So they can get a little boost.
Yeah, even paying your Netflix bill and your Hulu bill, which we all pay on time. Yeah, I might actually. Why not? Might sign up. This would be a good one to put into your evergreen buyer drip campaigns too. Did you know? Because it's kind of good info that a lot of people don't think about or know about. It'll take you 2 minutes to add that to an existing drip campaign. So
for those of you that are curious, the last 2 weeks on our masterminds, which we do Wednesdays at 1 Eastern, I was talking about short form video, the different types of content that I've been creating. It's just the different types of videos, and then where I post and how I post, etc. Mike has put together all of that in a growing mini course at wakeup.realestate. So for those that want to check out how I do that, and I don't claim to be, the very best at it, but they are getting more traction, and I am getting almost on a daily basis now people reaching out through one or more of those channels and interested in whether it's fixer-upper financing or DSCR loan or a HELOC or whatever the case may be. So there's definitely something to it, and it's a great way to create top-of-mind awareness in your market or stay top of mind with your existing audience buckets. So,
and you've got tons of great content from those masterminds. I don't know if people who watch the show know, but those are all archived and recorded here on the site. So
yep.
Mike does a great job
just
of
another
content.
reason to go and create your free account at wakeup.realestate.
Yeah.
Okay. Texting Tuesday.
Oh.
Yeah. And I went back into the archives and found one that we're using with my database this week. The seller or the homeowner portion of my database this week. And we'll get it compiled into a Google Doc and add it to the replay today. I just had a busy morning and wasn't able to do that ahead of time, but I'll give you the script here. Okay. So this is for homeowners, right? And it could be, maybe you've got Z buyer seller leads. You've got home value leads. Maybe you were generating them with street text and iList, like we've been talking, or have talked about over the last few months here. Or you were paying for some other, there's a number of different services over the years, right? Most of you, if you've been in this industry for any length of time, you've got some level of database of local homeowners. This would also make a great follow-up postcard for folks as well. So you're not limited to just using this by text or email. This would make a great direct mail piece as well. So the email or text script is as follows: morning first name or hi first name. Obviously, if you don't have their first name, you could lop that off. But if you have that, if you have if they've requested a value and so forth, you probably have their first name. Anyway, are you still interested in getting a cash offer for the street address, or are you looking for full market value? ? Let me know. Thanks. And let me know if in the text would be LMK. And if texting, I also then do THX, right? So I'm using the abbreviations for text to keep it shorter, and because that's more native or natural on texting. For
What a
email.
fast cash offer. Can I amend and put fast cash offer in there?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Or
Right.
in getting instant cash offers, right? Because if you're
Yeah.
using Zoodealio, they can instantly get multiple cash offers, right? So you could say, and Mike, if you're listening, maybe that's what we should say. Because if they say yes to that, that's, the next thing we're going to do is get them hooked up with Zoodealio and share their cash offer dashboard. Which, by the way, we've had Elliot Tomaszewski, who is the COO of Zoodealio. We had him on in December for a Wake Up Real Estate show, and we had him on for a mastermind session. So you can go back and find those. Check those out if you're interested. Again, morning, first name. Are you still interested in getting a cash offer, or in getting, in getting, or instantly getting multiple cash offers, whatever variation you choose, for street address? Or are you looking for full market value? ? Let me know. Thanks. Now, if you don't have Zoodealio or some way to make good on a cash offer, then just go with, are you still interested in selling your property at blank address this winter or spring? Okay. I like the idea here of the either or. Like, do you want cash offers, or do you want full market value, right? And some people are going to respond, neither. I don't want to sell. I never did. Blah, blah, blah. We'll get some of that. I don't know what the blah 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 was about, but so you're going to get people. You'll get people that are grumpy, let's say. But I also know, in using we use this script is from our site from June 12th. I mined our own our own site looking for, because I wanted a seller centric script, because we hadn't sent anything out to our my local database here, the seller or homeowner portion of that, and that one jumped out at me as one that, I don't remember the results when we used that in June. But anytime there's the either or, it tends to get a lot of replies, right? Even if it's not the either or, and they're just like, no, not interested. You're either going to clean up your database, and or you're going to fill it up with future interested folks, right? So you'll get people that say, we are still interested, but not yet. We're still getting the house ready for sale, or whatever it is. But it opens the door to the conversation, and the more information you can get, the more details you can get from them, and the better you disposition that contact and create a plan to follow up moving forward, the less likely they are to work with someone else when that motivation hits a tipping point and they are truly ready to sell. So
good one.
And the email is pretty much the same. The subject line we're using, Ryan, is all lowercase, still interested. And then it's going to be, the same thing, except we won't abbreviate let me know and thanks. We'll make it more,
would you
email formatted.
For the email in the subject line, would you do something like this? Still interested, and then put their street address?
That's a great point. That's a great point. Still interested, and then RE, their street address.
If you're able to merge it easily.
Right. If you're able to merge that in, that's great for two reasons. Number one, it's personalized to them, which means they're more likely to open it. And number two, it also means that at least on some level, you increase the likelihood of it actually landing in their inbox, because it's not the same canned email going out to, a couple hundred or a couple of thousand people. So, I like that a lot. And you could even put like the RE address in parentheses if you want. It's not a huge deal either way. And Ryan writing this out. Good morning, Ryan. Just curious, are you still interested in getting instant cash offers for street address, or are you looking for full market value? We've got some buyers from our database looking in your area.
I don't know. Yeah, it's a spring market. comes around.
Yep. I love it. I love it.
Which is why I ask.
Yep. So use that this week. If you have 10, 50, 100, 1,000 homeowners in your database, I would only send it as it is crafted here to folks that actually requested something. Now, it may not mean that they requested a cash offer, okay? But if at some point they requested a home valuation or a cash offer or showed interest in some level or on some level, I think asking that question. And if they say, well, I never asked for a cash offer, it's a wonderful opportunity for you to then say, oh, I'm so sorry. We must have something wrong in our in our database or in our notes here. And then you could even pivot to if they're not interested, you ask for permission. Would it be okay if we keep you up to date on the value of the property? Something along those lines. There's always a way, unless the person is literally, cursing you out or threatening you. There's almost always a way that you can at least ask another question. So it could be if they just say no or not interested. You can always say, hey, I got it, or totally understand. Do you know anyone in your neighborhood who might be? Or who do you know in your neighborhood that might be, or something along those lines. There's always a way to kind of pivot that, and you'll get a lot of no's to that also, but it doesn't take many yeses or actually Bill across the street there seems like they're getting ready to sell, and it can make it worth your while for sure. So there you have it.
Can I just bring up a bonus text? I don't know if we did this in the last few weeks, but if you haven't manually gone back and texted everybody you sold a house to last year, maybe like 6 to 12 months ago, just to let them know that the rates are down. Going back to the VA streamline you were doing, Josh, a few weeks ago. It's a good quick text to send, and there's probably 1 to 5 people you could think of that you might be able to serve with that idea.
Absolutely. I did a session over in between Christmas and New Year's on VA and FHA IRRL streamline refinances, and it is our fiduciary responsibility to reach out to folks if you know that they could be saving money every month because the rates have come down. Like it's your fiduciary responsibility to at least make them aware of that opportunity, that they could be saving hundreds of dollars a month potentially.
Well, and
ends up being thousands in interest over time.
Yeah, more. It could be 10. It could be 5 figures or more easily.
Yeah. Over the life for some, it could be 10. 6 figures. Over the life of a 30-year mortgage. So, and it's a real legitimate reason for you to follow up with them. Who knows? You'll probably also get some referrals, even if it doesn't make sense for them to refi right now, right? It's still, it's a great way to lead with value, to demonstrate to those folks that you care about, them and their, financial position and so forth. So good reminder there.
Manually hit a few up just in the spirit of Texas Tuesday.
Good reminder there for sure. So today at 1, our Fixer Upper financing class. You can go to growwithjosh.com/Fixer Upper class. If you miss it live, it'll be available at that same link immediately afterward on demand. Tomorrow, it's What's Working Wednesday in the morning, and then we'll have our mastermind at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, 1 o'clock Eastern, wakeup.realestate/MM. And the follow-up that we're going to have tomorrow, Lo King, when on last week's mastermind, asked, how or when or what do you do with some of this short form content to put some money behind it? And so I'm going to talk about and share the current retargeting ads that I have and the framework of how we build those out currently, what we're doing for that currently, and some simple ways that you can even boost right from your personal profile on Facebook as well. So like we'll take it from like the simplest, easiest, quickest way to put, $5, $10, $15 behind a post, whether it's a video post or any type of social post, or the more let's say it complex, retargeting strategies and how I'm deploying those. Ryan, anything on the direct mail front? I saw a cool little use case that had not ever crossed my mind that you posted using thanks for
eviction
invoicing.
letters.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll show that real quick, but we can get into more tomorrow on the What's Working Wednesday. I think we probably have some results from that VA letter we sent with Greg too.
We do. And I don't know. This is perfect because I haven't had time to do this. We'll do this tomorrow. I got a bunch of scans yesterday. I think from one of the automated pieces that landed for seller leads that I generated like in November or December. It was like 3 or 4 or 5 last night that came in all around the same time. And so we'll unpack that together. That'll be like a little Easter egg that we'll unpack together to see. I literally have no idea.
Either that or you sent like 500 letters like last September and the post office just decided to deliver them this week. That happens too.
Could be that too. Well, we'll find out together tomorrow because we can go in and look at the numbers and find where did those scans come from.
Yeah. So just real quick, this is an eviction letter. So thanks that I was used for marketing a lot, but you can also automate some processes. So if you do property management, I thought this was kind of a cool thing. They're merging in the name of the prospect, and they're also, it mentions hand delivery. So I guess in a lot of states you have to hand deliver and send by regular postal mail. So it's pretty cool. Question: is there an automation for my just listed, just sold? There's a way to do that, Mike. I mean, the Thanks.io team could set that up where every time you could plug your listing into you could kind of plug it into a spreadsheet or something. But I would just use justlistedjustsold.com and just do it every time. It only takes a couple of minutes to do it
that to me, like, there's actual automation, right? And then SOPs are what are the process of automating manual processes, right? So like, for example, when I list a property, Mike and we have an SOP for every time we get a listing. These are the things that we do in this order. And so the platform Just Listed, Just Sold really makes it, I mean, it makes it as close to automated as you possibly can. I mean, someone has to go there and actually, click a few buttons, but it's as streamlined as you could possibly get.
And the other thing you might want to do that Just Listed, Just Sold does, you might want to customize the messaging per listing. So it's not always great to automate some of these things. You want to take a second and kind of throw some messaging in here as you can. Right, see me doing it on the screen.
Mike also asked, "Hey Josh, I was looking at some old scripts and wanted to know why you used right side instead of downsize."
Sounds cool.
So, here's the honest truth, Mike. The first time I talked about that script was on a Texting Tuesday session way before Wake Up Real Estate, and I had multiple agents who were, let's say, older generation than me, that sort of politely said, "Hey, we prefer right size." Right? We don't want to down is like, some people view as kind of like negative. Now, some people don't care, right? Like some people is like whatever.
Most.
Most. But so I don't have scientific proof that you should say right size instead of downsize. That legitimately, just being fully transparent, that's why is I remember sharing that script the very first time, sometime in 2020, in our, like, I was live streaming these into our Facebook group, and I had multiple people comment, you should use right size instead of downsize. Who am I to say if that's the target audience that's receiving it, because they are more the target audience that would be responding to that message, and they were telling me that's what we would prefer. Now, it could just be, politically correct speak that doesn't actually have any, as Ryan was sort of alluding to, that there isn't actually any proof that people are more likely to respond to one or the other. But yeah, I mean, That's the honest truth. Use either one. Just use the script. I think you're going to get responses either way. And the script, for those of you that are wondering, it's probably the reverse psychology script, which is, I know you're not ready to sell right now, but when the time is right, will you be trading up or right sizing or downsizing? I think is probably where the script that Mike was referring to.
Mike, just on that 3 minutes to create, the speed has gotten a lot faster because the reason it's taking a minute is it's rendering the design and the postcards in real time. But if that's too slow and you have a volume of just listed and just sold postcards you need to send, we can help you automate that outside of the just listed, just sold system. So just let us know over there.
Yep. Alan said the answer is both. My problem there is I would recommend you pick one. Otherwise, you're just adding extra characters to your text message and making a text message longer than necessary. So, yeah, I don't think you can go wrong either way, right? If you use right size and somebody's like, well, what's right size? You can cheekishly say, well, it's the politically correct way to say downsize, with a smiley face, right? So just play off of it, have fun with it. And when people get annoyed and frustrated, what I try to do is, there's some where there's no point in responding to, but there's some where, if you just use some emojis and you be sort of self-deprecating or apologetic, very quickly the conversation can turn back in your favor.
And depending on the mood you're in, sometimes it's just fun to talk to Karen.
Yeah, exactly. Just speaking of which, my youngest daughter had to write had this writing assignment at school, and she wrote a story about a Karen at a soccer tournament like a year ago. And her teacher was like, I'm sorry, Tegan, but you're gonna have to change the name in there. We have to reposition how you're writing that. So we got a kick out of that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you are stereotyping Karens. I feel bad for
Karens. Yeah, exactly. All right. So on that note, we're gonna wrap it up for the day. Hope you can join us later for the Fixer Upper class at growwithjosh.com/Fixer Upper class. We'll be live tomorrow. What's working Wednesday? I'll share where the QR code scans came from that I was mentioning. And then we've got the mastermind in the afternoon at 1 Eastern, wakeup.realestate/MM. And Alan asked, and I almost corrected myself because I said just listed, just sold, and I forgot the .com. It is literally that easy, Alan. It's just listed, just sold.com. So good on Ryan on grabbing that domain name to make it easy and simple.
Oh, that was
for all
Justin,
of us to remember. Okay, well, Justin, Ryan, whoever. Two smart fellows for sure. Okay. Hopefully we'll see you this afternoon. If not, tomorrow for What's Working Wednesday.
See you guys.